What's going on, guys? We are going to cover yet another function on Rust iterators. This time we're going to do for each, which is painfully close to the exact same thing as map, but it's kind of used in a slightly different way. So if we go back to our code, we have pretty much the same thing that we had in our last video on the map function, but instead we're using for each. So the purpose of for each is not to mutate anything. It's not going to return anything. It is just going to run this closure function on each individual item within the iterator. So we're transforming items into an iterator just like we have been in the last couple of videos, and we're running for each, which is literally going to run this closure on each individual item within that iterator. So if we run this, we will get exactly what we would think we do. We have got like this video and please all in uppercase. So we're not going to get anything returned here. If we do, let's do let items test equal to that, and then let's just return item.to uppercase. We're going to get an error here, and it's going to say expected blank found string. The reason is that for each is not supposed to actually return anything. If you go over here to the function definition of it, it does not return anything. It is just literally running a closure over each individual item here. Whereas map, if you want to actually return an item, return a mutated version of an iterator. That's what you're going to use map for. For each, that's going to run basically a closure that is just going to do a thing with each individual item and then just let it go. So you could picture here a case where you need to add things from a list to a database. You don't want to necessarily return all of the results of that addition to the database. You might, but in this case you wouldn't. So you're just going to run over each individual item in the array that you started with. You're going to add that item to the database, and then you're just going to move on. You don't really care about the return value. You don't care about any of that. You can do some checking within the closure, obviously, but you don't want to have a list of the results that you get back like you would with, for example, the map function. Now, you might. In that case, you would use the map function. So the whole purpose here is to basically illustrate that each of these individual functions on an iterator have a different purpose and a slightly different use case. Map and for each are pretty close, but if you want a returned value, that's when you would use map. If you don't really care about it, for each is fine. So that's about it for this one, like 2.5 minute long video. But yeah, that's about it. Take it easy. Peace.